Hello and welcome to day 3 of Web Development Basics Training by First Creative Studio. So today we're going to look at links, we are going to look at images, we are going to look at some things that will help us when we're writing content. Like if we need something like degrees Celsius or something raised to power something, we're going to look at some text that will help us with that. So we're going to dive straight into it. I want to write the text I'll be using to show us that. So, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Thank you. Okay, that's enough. So, first let's start with something that will help us when we want to do something like raise to power something. It's called superscripts, and these are the tags used for it. Sup. Let's put 2. I want it to go to the rest to go to the next line, so I'll put that there. And let me run this in Chrome. Yeah, you can see that. So let's take the next one. I want this little to be below. You see what I'm talking about? It's called a subscript. Again, I want those ones to go to the next line. See, it's no longer on the same page, it's lower. So this is called a superscript. Let me type it out. And this is called a subscript. Now, for those of us that like to highlight things, if you want something like that in your page, you can create that highlight look using tags called mark. So let's see what mark does. You see? Oops, sorry. So that's what that mark does. Now if you want something, you know, when we're in primary school and teacher will say something like, instead of you doing jaga jaga because you're canceling, just put one straight line across. Yeah, so we are going to discover how to put a straight line. Some people use it in when they are blogging, maybe to write some things, and they're like, no, not this, but they want it to show. So here, refresh, and that's that. So that's what I wanted to show us in terms of writing or typing, and show us some tags that could help us to create that superscript feature, subscript, highlights, then strike through. For English people call it strike through. So now we're going to the other things for today. Come in, I like to indent it as I go, just so it's neater for me. So still within our body tag, we are looking at links. Now let's say you have 2 HTML pages in a folder. You want to go from one folder to another, from one page to another page. Like, let me see if this will open up on Google. Let's say we're going to be using Jumia as our example today. Yeah. Okay. So you know how when, let's say I click on this, it takes me to toothpaste and all that, and this will take me to perfume and all that. Yep. Jumia is making use of links here. So instead of you saying www.fragrances.something something something, it's just going to show fragrances alone. So now let's imagine I have a fragrance page. I don't, but just going to name it fragrance per se. Now I want, when we click on something in this page, it takes us to that page. So this is how the link tag looks like. Then I put the name of that page. And I put what I want to appear. In between the tags. Save. And come here and refresh. Yeah. And when I click it, this is the page that's called hello.html. It has some images, 2 images to be specific on it. So when I click it, it should take me to that. Yes, 1, 2. Okay. So that's how you link from one page to another. Now you can also link from your site to another person's site. Let's say you want to link to Jumia. We'll go back on Google. You come here to the search bar. If you check either on your phone, when you come here, if you're doing it on your laptop, just right click copy. You're copying the full website address per se. You're copying the full website address. On phone, if you just go up, there's a place where this is displayed. You might see just the www, but just click it and copy. Then when you've copied it, you come in between these quotation marks and paste. And let's call it Jumia. Save. Come here. We go back. You can see the different sites. We go back. This is the one with our introduction. Now it has Jumia on it. Now when we click this, it's supposed to go to Jumia directly. So let's click it. Takes us straight to Jumia. Now your own doesn't necessarily need to be Jumia. It can be any website you feel like using. Just copy the address and paste. For those people using JSBin, this is what you're supposed to use, because you can't link, you can't create another HTML page on that site. Everything is live, so that you see it working and so that you're able to practice using links, just put a live website in your link tags. Put a live website in between the quotation. People using a normal laptop can create another HTML page, but when you're submitting the assignment, your assignment is going to include links. JSBin people, this is the one you're supposed to use. JSBin laptop. Alright, now since that has been settled, let's go to images. We're going to look at how to put images on a website, how to reduce the size, how to even use image from another person's website. Let's get started. So this is our image tag. Now the way this is, how it has a href equals to then quotation mark, that's how it's supposed to be. Like the same, you can't remove href, you can't say you're not using the equals to, you can't say you're not using the quotation mark and it will go straight. No, it doesn't work that way. Same way with our image tag here. All these things here, they must be there. if you forget to put one, you'll have issues. Now, in the last two videos I talked about empty tags. This is an empty tag. It doesn't have a closing tag, something like this. It doesn't have it, so it's an empty tag. Now, for those using laptops, again, to be able to view an image on your web page, you should put an image in the folder that you're putting this code in, so it's easier. Right, my image is already there. Now I want to call this image, I want to display this image on my website. For those with Windows, you just copy it like the way it is. Mine is edge.jpg. Edge is the name of the actual file, jpg is the extension. For those with Mac, it will not write .jpg for you, it will just write edge. So you have to right click, then click properties to find out what kind of image file it is. You can't just assume that it will be JPG. So there are some image files that are PNG, some that are actually JPEG. So it's best that you confirm before you go ahead and start using it. So we've already put our tags. Let's refresh and see. Okay, let's go back first. Yeah, and as we've gone back, let's put an image. It's an image of a wristwatch, a very big one, very big image. You see, right? Okay, now that's settled. Now, like I said, you can also use an image from somebody's website. Now, you can't just go and assume name for the image. It's best you copy from the website directly, and I'll show you how to do that. But first, let's get our tag set up. So Jumia, once again, is our guinea pig for today, what we're going to be using to test. Alright, so I want this image, this particular one on my website, so I just right click, then copy image address. Just tap it, copy, right click, copy image address. Those using phone, I believe when you just tap it and hold down, I believe you should be able to get all this. Download link, copy link address, then copy image address. Then we come here. I think you might have picked the last one instead. We'll come here in between the quotation marks. I put this. Oh boy. Trophy. Now this is the image from Jumia. Let's test it out. Note that if you're using somebody's image on your website, if they delete that image, you're not going to have any picture on your website. It's just going to be blank. And also, if you're not live, like you're not connected to the internet, and you put somebody's image that you got from their website, I don't mean the one you screenshotted and saved, somebody's image where you copy the image address, it will not show. I'm connected to the internet, that's why it's going to show mine. So this is introduction. Let's refresh. We're trying to get one of these images from Jumia. I don't know which one I ended up copying the image address for. Yep, and it has copied. Look at the my titty. Still from Jumia. I believe it's one. Yeah, this is it. And that's how we copy images. Now you notice it's extremely big. I mean, look at this image. It's taking more than half of the website, of the web page. Look at it. Look how big they are. You want it reduced, and also you need to specify the size, because it can just come on your website and maybe you have other things maybe above or beneath. It will just push them to the side and display the image in its full size. So one way to specify the size the image should maintain when it's coming to your site is to write it out like this, where it's still within that image tag. 100 height. Oh, sorry. 100. And that's that. Save. Remember, they were very mighty before. I just changed only this one. But let's see what it will be like after refresh. Look at the difference. Now there is another way to still do this, but this is a more professional way, and this is how you're recommended to specify image sizes in your website. Sorry, in your web page. I keep saying website. That's a style equals to 1 2. Then we have width, and we have colon. Let's put 300. This one, when you're using this one, you have to put pixels. That's px. Px is short form for pixels. Pixels, px. Let me delete that. When you're using this normal one, you don't need to specify. But when you're using this, please specify. Then ends with semicolon. Then the height, colon. I said 300 pixels, so px semicolon. Now let's see. Remember, this is how mighty it looked before. Now look at it. Reduced, greatly reduced. So this is how to reduce sizes. The two different ways. You are you're highly recommended to use this one, because when we move to CSS, it will be easy for you to go from, say, specifying your image like this in the px and style, than it will be for you to go from this to height. But either way, it's not going to be hard. So that's that. And let's say we have converted here, and we want to put this in the recommended way. That's using style. So go style equals to 1 2. Width, we said it was 100. Remember to put px when you're using this style, and don't forget your semicolon at the end. And please correct spelling. If not, the computer will not help you out. Computer only knows what it expects to get. There's no autocorrect. Yeah. So save. Let's see if there's any change in how the word shows. Remember, this was 100. Let's see if there's any change. Not a single change. So this, let me undo so you can see. Oh boy. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So these are the two ways you can reduce the size of an image, or specify the size of an image as it comes to your website, or as you want it displayed on your web page. Why do I keep saying website? Okay, now for today's assignment. Let me put assignment. Scroll up. Thank you. My HTML is not missing, no. It's there, it's just hidden. So assignment. Obviously, I want to see an image on your webpage. Remember, JS being users, you can only use the second one. I don't know if I told you, but in case I forgot to tell you, I'm mentioning it now. You can only use this method where you copy image address from somebody else's website. And also here again for href, this is the method you're supposed to use, because you're not connected to anything that you can use to create another HTML then link both of them, the two pages together. So assignment, your new web page should contain a link and an image. And also I want you to use at least two of these ones here. We have superscript, subscript, mark, which is used for highlighting, delete, which is used for what we used to call in primary school canceling. So I want your assignments to have at least two of this. You can pick superscript and subscript, or you can pick mark and delete, any of these four, but I want at least two to be in your assignment. So your assignment should contain a link, an image, two, what will I call them? Let's call them content tags. This is not the name HTML gave them. This is just me trying to specify. Two content tags. When I say content tags, I mean this. Alright? And if you're feeling adventurous or coding is suiting you and you want to test yourself, it's allowed. This is for testing yourself. All the professional coders, please, you are not allowed to attempt this. You're not allowed to test yourself using this unless you did not know how to do this before. Alright, so I want, if you're testing yourself or you want to test your limits, I want you to have an image that when it is clicked, it takes us to a website. Either to a website like in this case Jumia, or it takes us to a different web page. Remember how this one is a folder, this one is hello.html is a folder, sorry, is a web page within my folder where I have this one. This one is called structure.html. You can see this is it. This is hello.html. So if you want to test yourself,